is going on? We're going to be talking about driver's education today. We're going to go ahead and get this thing moving. I want to welcome you in. I'm a state certified driving instructor. Had a lot of comments and a lot of growth. So what I like to do as your instructor, I want you to think of me as your internet driving instructor, is to discuss these things. The best thing I can do is answer your comments. So let's go ahead and get it. We have Robin Myles. You're supposed to turn into the nearest lane. This is true. In the DMV code, you're supposed to turn into the nearest lane. If you're making a right turn, you turn hand over hand. I have the steering wheel. You turn hand over hand into the nearest lane, and you keep your turn as short as possible. Same way if you're making a left turn. You turn hand over hand, and that's right by the double yellow line. Now, if there's an obstruction, then you have to yield and go into the next available lane. There are also double right turns, triple right turns, quadruple right turns. Wherever lane you're in, you need to stay in that appropriate lane. If you just come in, I'm answering people's questions. I'm showing you love. Why? You showed me love. So I want to answer your questions. If you have questions, type them in. I want to respond to you, bring that good energy in, and see you all do your best. So Robin, what I'm going to do for you is give you a heart and a thumbs up, and you want to keep your turn short. So when you keep your turn short, you won't hit anything. You facilitate a smoother flow in traffic. Think of an intersection as a crossroad. If you go in slow to the crossroad, you run a greater chance of getting hit or being hit. But if you turn quickly and turning smoothly, hand over hand into that nearest lane, you get in the intersection and you get out. Anderson Santo, stop signs are no longer a thing. No, they're still building new intersections. They still have stop signs. They still have yield signs, because if there was no stop or yield sign, you will have confusion. So signs are still in use. It does vary from area to area. Stop does mean stop for 3 seconds. So stop means stop, no rolling stops. So be consistent in your stops and yields, okay? Thank you. Notorious PP, driving teacher stops after the line. So Notorious P, I'm gonna give you a heart and a thumbs up. Let's talk about this. You have to stop behind the stop line. The stop line is a big, thick white line. You stop. You remain motionless for 3 seconds. You look left, right, left. Then you inch forward. It's called showing the car. So you have to show the car, and then when safe, then you go. Okay? So you want to be safe, you want to take your time, and you want to be patient, because those stop lines are important. And when you're driving, beginning drivers, they stop early, 3, 7, 10, 12 feet before this big stop line, or some student drivers stop late, stopping in the middle of the intersection. You have to remember, I teach teens and adults. These are people, adult, full-grown people, your mom, your dad, your uncle, who are 25, 27, 30, 40, 50, 60. They have not been in a vehicle that is 35, 45, 55,000 pounds that could potentially kill someone. So we want to teach them best practice. You want them to be safe, okay? We took a visit to Micro Center. I was looking at some possible new computer technology to make a driving simulator, because I am a state certified teacher. And if you like technology, you might want to take a look at that visit when I went to Micro Center. Currently, I'm rocking a Asus motherboard, a 2070. I got a processor overclocked to 5.4 right now, some G-Scale RAM. So I'm in heavily to technology. and share with me what type of video card you have. The Beston has a RX 480, so I'm going to reply. I got a 2070, which is fine for now. I am a gamer, I want more, but it's all good. Rock what you have. McCloven 400. Thanks, man. I actually am considering getting my license. That's wonderful. If I can have a chance to impact some of your lives and encourage you to be safe, safe driving is important. Be safe and recognize you need to start getting out there and support self. You want to support yourself. And I remember when I first got my permit, it was a feeling, wow, I can actually go places. I can go to McDonald's. I can go to the mall. I can go pick up my friends. I can go to downtown. I can go out to the suburbs. Then I realized, oh snap, I need a job. So driving will give you that independence. If I can help you, reach out to me. I will be putting a Google number in my profile. So if those of you who are really serious, you can call and we can talk and interact. So let me know what you think about that. Safe driving, support yourself. Okay, let's talk about gaming with portals. Gaming with portals, he looked at one of my videos where I had asked a woman and I had asked her permission. She had to go for a driver re-eval. Typically, if you get a certain number of tickets, they're going to take your license. This could be, driving aggressively through the roads. This could be running lights. This could be excessive amount of tickets. You will be called for a driver reevaluation. So I had asked this lady's permission. She brought knowledge and information to others because a lot of people out here are struggling and they don't know what to do. So I'm blessed to have an opportunity to help people. So never bullying, always caring, always show love to all people. And when you show love to people, they show love back. And that's really important. And I'm an instructor, and every single day I put my life on the line for you and for them because it's not about me. I make all this content for you, showing you how to parallel park, showing you how to merge on the expressway, showing you what you need to do to have best practice and get a good, consistent confidence when you're out driving. Okay? This is Stuart. Was my dad's number one rule when teaching me to drive. That was when you're driving on the highway, you want to keep space in front of you. You want to be able to see in case someone panic stops. I posted a video about staying out of the wolf pack, and it's really important. You want to keep room. You want to keep space. So Stuart, I'm giving you a heart and a thumbs up. And, listen to your family, man. Listen to your family. The family is the first level of teaching you how to drive, teaching you how to function in the public. And I love meeting the parents and interacting with them and then talking to them. So listen to your family. And then I'm going to send a reply. Billboard. 10 and 2 is a great way to break your thumbs or your arms in a crash. I can't believe they're still teaching this. Well, Billboard, let's go ahead and give you a thumbs up and kind of break this down. There's so many different methods. There's 10-2, there's 9-3, and the biggest one is now, and check this out, the biggest one now is 7, left hand, 7 and 5, right? That is the biggest one right now. So you have to manage with what you have. These engineers, and I'm an instructor, so I'm the professional at a certain level. I stay in my lane, get it? Stay in my lane. But I'm always examining and getting people in the car. 10 and 2, 9 and 3, 7 and 5. And I try to give students best practice. There are multiple ways. So look, there's hand to hand, right? There's hand over hand. You can let the wheel spin through. You have to do the methodology that works for you. And you really want to be safe. Good driving takes time. And you have to work. And if you don't want to work, you won't do well. So you have to work hard. You got to take your time. And you got to be willing to listen and find the best practices that is out there, right? Peter, if I need a car, I use the taxi, safer, but preferably the buses. I will use the taxi. I have money to pay for a car, but not buying my car. Well, Peter, you may live in an area where there's not a huge metropolitan area. I'm in a huge metropolitan area and distances are too far away. I'm 35 miles one way from work. And I'm spending, listen to this, I'm spending $100 a week, $400 a month. That's a lot of money. And I wish it was closer. I wish I could take an Uber or Lyft, but it's not where I am right now. So I would say for you, use what works for you, Peter. Be safe at what you do. But if that works, then stay with that. But learn to drive. It will give you independence, right? It will give you freedom. And that's what's important. So I'm gonna give you a clap, a little emoji. So learn to drive. It builds independence. Justin Burkall, I drive with 2 feet, elbow on the steering wheel, earbuds in. Jesus, take the wheel. Well, I feel you on that, but Jesus is going to take the wheel from you because you can't drive with your elbows or you can't drive with your knees because you simply will lose control. And if you do this in front of law enforcement officers, they're gonna do a double take. They're gonna look at you twice. So you wanna be intentional and you wanna have safe driving. Safe driving is critical. And practice those safe fundamentals. So safe driving is key. Wolf Guide, learn to drive a car. I bought how I wanted because the money I made, I got what I wanted. So you're gonna put your hands where you please. This is America, Wolf Guide. You can do what you want, but also you gotta remember there are people out there who are vulnerable, kids, pedestrians, your grandparents. So if you're driving with those different fundamentals, you may not be safe. So I would say keep both hands. You want to have both hands on the wheel. And then I want you to drive safe. Okay, keep both hands on the wheel, drive safe. Okay, I'm gonna give you a smile emoji and you gotta keep working on those safe fundamentals. Max, I guess he's never driven a standard. Max, you are wrong. Max, I've driven a standard. I've driven some older 80s and 74 speed cars, some clutchless cars before, a T5. I have another video that I will be dropping. I do know how to drive a manual and I have a chauffeur's license, so I can drive vehicles up to 13,000 pounds. So Max, I do know how to drive a manual. And manuals are fun, right? And you have to really know how to drive them in a safe format. And it takes more balance and control. So manuals are very fun. I live in North America and about 90% of the cars are automatics, okay? You have cars that are 10 speeds now, 8 speeds, 6 speeds. Manuals are fun, but they're very hard to find today. So I do know how to drive them. And they are big fun, right? What makes them fun? Shifting the gears, downshifting, upshifting, power shifting sometime, clutchless shifting. If you know about that, Max, reach out to me. Beach, Florida. Hey. While for new drivers, it's a good general rule. Focusing on something 10 and 2 in all situations has its drawbacks. Classic examples of trying to correct oversteering. Unfortunately, the second hand is in the situation. Well, Beach, Florida, there's different methodologies. Let's look at our steering wheel. There's 9 and 3, 10 and 2, right? 11 and 1. And then one of my viewers said, AAA, and look this up. There's a new one, 7 and 5, right? 7 and 5. You have to find, first, there's no absolute way to turn the steering wheel. There are different methodologies all the time, okay? The federal government does testing, automotive manufacturers do testing, laymen like myself, even though I'm a professional in my area because I teach driver's education, and I see different students driving with one hand, driving underhand. You're gonna throw the car. Making the wheel small at the top. If you make the wheel small at the top, you're gonna overturn, putting the wheel at the bottom. So you gotta find the safest, most consistent method. And literature changes from the UK, from Australia, from the United States. There's no general consistent vibe that says 10 and 2, 9 and 3, 8 and 4, or 7 and 5. So you have to do your research. So it depends on the driving situation and the situation in general. Different times require different things. I need you to look more into this and then send me a link. Look more into this and report back. And some of you will get these messages. You'll send me information immediately, and that's what I want. Let's get a general conversation about this. You know, we should have 10 or 15 people on talking about this, sharing about this, right? Shay said, Kia boys just, okay, so let's get on this Kia boy for a second. Kia boys. Kias have a situation where they're getting stolen. So the Kia boys, that's not irrelevant to me. Have your car properly secure and stay safe. So Kia boys, I need you to drive safe and don't take those cars. You know, no joyriding. Okay, stay safe, no joyriding, because eventually you're gonna get caught, and that's what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna put a little car up there, it's not a Kia. Tommy Kolswinski, I do mine like Tommy Lee. Well, this is personal preference, but you need to drive like yourself. You know, drive for yourself, Tommy. Be safe. You know, safety is no accident, because one day you're going to have to make an emergency maneuver. And if your hands are improper, you're going to overturn and roll your car over. You're going to hit a patch of black ice. So what I need all of you to do is really think about where you are. Be safe. You know, have a good speed control, right? If you take the time to write and leave a comment, I'm gonna take the time to reply back to you. So I'm gonna give you a heart with some eyes, and then if you just popped in, I'm going over comments. We're talking about driving, steering, turning in the nearest lane, parking. We're having a discussion. And if you left a comment, I will go through, reply back to you, and reply back to me. 10 and 2 is outdated. 9 and 3 or 8 and 4 because of the airbag. So Brian said this 13 days ago. Well, Brian, there's different methodologies on this. The new one is 7 and 5. This is from the AAA. It just depends. There's no best way to steer the wheel. I'm 6'4", 280. I have very long arms. 9 and 3 could be good for me, but of course this is a specialized steering wheel. I have a Gen 1 Camaro, so I'm just using this as a teachable moment, but steering wheels have gotten larger, right? So 9 and 3, 10 and 2, 8 and 4, you can see this 8 and 4, and then 7 and 5. One of my viewers said, hey, 7 and 5. So 7 and 5, this is from the AAA. So you have to do your research and find the methodology that works for you. So I'm gonna give you a hand clap with that emoji and send you on your way. Brandon Runyon, this guy hasn't had to drive. Yes, this is correct, Brandon. You got to have both hands on the wheel. I'm going to give you a heart and thumbs up. This is true. And if your car has a malfunction, you got to really be able to steer that car. And that's happened to me before. It's really scary. And I'm going to say facts. Okay? And you're going to get, this is for Brandon. Brandon's going to get a happy emoji. And I just want to say thank you, Brandon. Right? Karan says, man, what if I'm driving a manual? How am I supposed to shift? Well, you use your left foot, right? You lift off the gas a little bit. That'll take the torque and stress off of the gears, and you push that clutch in, and then you shift, right? In a racing application, you have a specially designed transmission. You're holding your foot to the floor. It doesn't require you to push in the clutch. You just power first, second, third, fourth, fifth, right? There are racing style transmissions that have specially modified synchronizers or no synchronizers at all. But you want to be smooth. You don't want to upset the balance of your transmission because you will get deductions and points. Blue raspberry. In my state, it's 9 and 3 or 8 and 4. Speak facts. And we have to look at what are the state mandates, right? We need to have a broader discussion where I can get some experts on. If you are an expert, you teach driver's education, you work for the federal government, let's have a discussion. You know, I could get another platform. I could have guests come on. Let's talk, bring some data. So Blue Raspberry said, in my state, 9 and 3 or 8 and 4. Mine also. And you have to look at what is safe, what is allowed, and practice safe, man. You know, you want to have both hands on the wheel. And I'm going to give you an emoji, blue raspberry, give you a car emoji, and hit you with a reply. Dom, they teach 8 and 4 the position now. So 8 and 4, 10 and 2, 9 and 3. It is incredible how you see there's no absolute best way. There's no absolute best way. They're changed all the time. It could be 9 and 3. It could be 10 and 2. It could be 7 and 5. It varies. So I need you to have an open mind and look at this and think about your situation. I'm gonna give you a hand clap, Dom. Reaction King. Anyone notice that when he's steering, he's not moving? Confusing. Well, we're doing a high definition video, and in some of these tutorials, I am parked. And I'm showing you hand positioning right now. I'm turning hand over hand. I'm turning back hand over hand. This is called sliding the wheel, hand to hand. This is called, you know, putting your hand under and throwing it to. So my job is to teach best fundamentals. When you go back to your parents, you're gonna drive the way you want to drive. But my job, I have a legal right to give you best practice. If my state, my province, my country says these are the top fundamentals, then I need to teach those fundamentals. I'm not going to cheat you. Why? Because my life is in your hands. And once we develop trust, I'm trusting you to stop, to turn in the nearest lane, and to execute a proper lane change. And I have to watch you and give you feedback. So good instructors educate their students and give them support and give them love. And that's what good instructors do. They are very loving and caring, and I'm loving and caring. So I want you to know that, Reaction King, and I'm trying to do best practice for educational purposes. It's the teacher in me, and it's about driving education. Driver's ed. And that hopefully is a good experience for you. And, you know, we want you, I'm speaking we as an instructor, we always want our students to have someone give you a hand clap and be safe. V-Man, my mom and dad do whatever you said not to, but yet they drive perfectly. Well, that's your parents. They've been driving 15, 25, 30 years, and they can get away with small inconsistencies. It takes 10 years to learn how to drive. So if you're 15, that's 25. If you're 16, that's 26. If you're 17, that's 27. So you have to master your skill and craft in order to be super successful. So I would say learn your own style. Learn your own style that is safe. Because safety is no accident. And that's what I would recommend for you. Watch my content, learn from others. The UK does it different. Australia does it different. Japan, China does it different. The United States does it different. You have to have an open mind and learn. And since I've been on this platform, I've been blessed to interact with some of the most impressive content creators that are here. Okay. Scott Hibbert said, nah. So, Scott, I'm not sure what you mean by the nah, but safe driving, right? And if I see someone driving unsafe, I'm getting away from them. I'm changing lanes, and I want to make more room. And that's what I would say to you is make more room. Apple Mapley says, dang, so I'm going to put a thumbs up. And I'm going to say have both hands. Have both hands on the wheel. And I think a lot of times beginning drivers just see movies, videos, say, I'm just going to, be big pimping, drive with one hand. No, you're going to lose control of your car. A deer's going to come out. A little kid's going to come across the street. Someone's going to swerve in your lane. If you have one hand, what's going to happen? You're going to overturn. And I guarantee you're going to have both hands back on that wheel. Facts. So, Apple Mapley, both hands on the wheel, and I'm going to give you a hand clap. It's really important that you recognize those fundamentals. If a semi-truck driver can palm the steering wheel, well, I'm not a semi-truck driver. I've driven mainly automobiles and some cargo vans, so I can't speak on semi-truck drivers. I need to do more research on that. And I would love to have some semi-truck drivers come on. So I'm going to say more power to the trucks. And I'm learning to stay out of their way, right? Because trucks are huge, they have big blind spots, and I do not want to get caught in that area. So let's review. I'm a state certified driving instructor. I've taken some time to answer about 30 questions to show you that I appreciate you. And if you have some factual information, something that we can read, talk, and discuss about, I'll print it, I'll download it. I went live yesterday, went live today. If this brought you value, and I have a lot of people around the world, first, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to listen, to buy. And I really love you and appreciate you. So subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up. And we want to go live and have more guests popping in so we can have a great educated discussion. So I want to say bye and thank you.